I have Mikey here with me. We're actually at, like I said, our studio space right now. We're in the process of moving it, unfortunately. Yeah.
Where are you moving it to?
Just down the street. We found another place. It was the same price. It was twice as much room. So, just like 10 years of stuff that we have to move. So.
Oh man, it's like moving a house.
Oh yeah, probably even worse because we were keeping like all of our equipment there.
I bet. And you know what? Now that you mention it, at least when you're moving a house, like maybe you go to U-Haul or like Home Depot, and the boxes are preset for home stuff, right?
Right. Yeah.
But not for like a console and all this stuff that you guys have.
Exactly. Yeah, we're just gonna put it in a moving truck and hope for the best. Honestly, all the big stuff. The hardest part is like you get sentimentally attached to stuff, like so you pick something up that's probably worthless, but you have a nice memory of it from like 5 years ago, and you don't want to throw it away. So
sure.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
For sure, man. For sure. So you're in West Palm Beach right now?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay, great, man. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time. I know, first of all, how busy you are with the move-in artistically, and so I thank you for your time, John.
Of course, man. We've definitely been busier. So
yeah. Glad to hear, man. Glad to hear. So listen, let me just put it in context for my audience, who you guys are. I'm really happy to have you guys because, I'm at South Florida. I'm in Aventura, actually, just down the street from you guys. And I feel like we have this underrated like music DNA. Like Marilyn Manson's from Fort Lauderdale, Ariana Grande's from Boca Raton, and you guys are from West Palm Beach. So whenever we have someone, a local that is a great representative, my Flanagan's, Publix heart melts.
Yep, those are two references anyone outside of Florida did not get just now.
Exactly. Just they're local. But anyway, John, thanks for your time. Of course. Big year for you guys, man. Big year. Couple things are coming out. First of all, on September 25th, your new album, Carefree Theater, is coming out. It's your fifth. So, and it's a masterpiece, man. I've been listening to it. Really good stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll get to it. And also a 10-year for Record Store Day, a 10-year anniversary deluxe double LP of Astro Coast is coming out.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It has a bunch of old demos that I hadn't heard in years, and cleaned them up a little bit, and that should be fun listening. Amazing.
Astro Coast, guys, is their debut album, and it's one of the best debut albums in recent memory. That thing's going on eBay real quick, John.
Hopefully. Hopefully people hold on to it. Hopefully they never go up on eBay.
For sure. So we'll get to that, John. But let me just ask you some early beginning questions and work our way, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course.
Cool, man. Thank you. I want to ask you about Jabroni Sandwich. Which is the obligatory question. That was your first band with Tyler Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you guys meet? Did you guys meet through Craigslist, MySpace? How did that come about?
Well, it's actually kind of it's a long story. TJ and I went to the same high school. We actually sat next to each other in Spanish class, but we definitely did not like each other.
Really?
Yeah, there was some headbutting going on. I think we were both kind of, punky little kids who, but.
So you're talking about Dreyfus in West Palm Beach?
Exactly, when we were at Dreyfus, and yeah, so we knew each other. We never really hung out that much or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to college in Orlando, and a good friend of mine who was also friends with TJ, we would both come over to his house sometimes, and we got to know each other, realized pretty quickly that we liked all the same music, and he played drums, I played guitar. It made sense to start writing songs together, and, one thing led to another, and we wrote, 10 songs in a year, and that would eventually become Astro Coast later on, but, yeah, and now we've been friends for 12 years.
Funny how life works. Unbelievable. I want to ask you about the night you met the late Thomas. That we'll talk about in just a second. You guys met at an Ultra Music Festival after party, right? And that's where the band
correct.
Really was formed. I feel like I have to clarify because most people know Ultra as this like crazy rave thing, but I think you and I like kind of remember it being, $50 ticket. They had some rock bands back in the day. I remember they had The Cure. I saw The Cure and The Killers like during Hot Fuzz era. So it was like a different vibe, right?
Well, yeah, they still throw in. I was surprised to see Kraftwerk on the bill a few years ago, and I know New Order's played maybe a couple times. So, there's some stuff there for everyone. But honestly, we just went to this party for the free beer, I think is what it really was.
It's always about the free beer. Yeah.
yeah, we had played a show at Churchill's earlier that day, and because of the festival, we were just playing to an empty room. We were playing to the bartenders basically, and afterwards we were like, "What now?" Somebody called us. They're like, "I'm at this crazy ultra after party. Diplo is DJing. There's free Red Stripe. Come on down." And we were like, "Well, yeah, that's what we're doing tonight then."
Amazing.
And that was the first time I ever really talked to Thomas. I'd seen his bands play before, but he knew all about Surfer Blood. He had heard the music we put on the internet, and just asked me right then and there, like, "Hey, can I play guitar in your band?" And it was kind of weird because we had another guitarist at the time. I'm like, I really want this to happen, but we have to, but we have another guitarist we have to think about first. The next day, he called me and told me he couldn't be in the band anymore. So
what? Really?
It was serendipity or something.
Unbelievable. I love how life works like that sometimes. And by the way, you mentioned Churchill's. For people in my audience, next time you come to Miami, skip Miami Beach, skip the Balls, skip Wynwood. Churchill's is the reason. Is an original pub that you see bands like Surfer Blood in their nascent stages. So check Churchill's up. Shout out to Churchill's. But
Absolutely.
anyway, okay. So then you go on to Astro Coast. We talked about the vinyl reissue. It's one of the most successful debut albums of the past 20 years. Unbelievable. Swim, what was the debut single, was huge. John, just let me know if you don't hear me or anything. But there's a
train passing right now, of course. Sorry, there you can see it.
Hey, it's so good, man. There you go. It's so good.
Perfect
Yeah.
timing.
Great stuff. Like, I know for Pitchfork magazine, huge. It named you guys one of the best songs of the year. You guys played South by Southwest, the NPR show. Like, a lot of really fast stuff really soon, man. I just want to ask you, John, about this. What were you guys feeling as this was exploding so quickly?
Well, yeah, it was pretty much the craziest time in my life. I mean, these are songs that we were recording in our apartment, and we went from playing. We booked our own tours up the East Coast, and we were playing to absolutely no one every night. Just the bar crowd, whatever people just happened to be there. And we were, of course, playing really, really loud at the time. So I think we were probably more obnoxious than most people than anything. But all it took was a few people to hear the record and to, talk about it on the internet. And it just spread like wildfire. It was happening so fast. 2 months, everything in our lives changed.
Unbelievable. In fact, you guys were picked to open for the Pixies in 2011. And if the legend serves us right, you met the Pixies and they came up to you, said, we're big fans of you. We know all your songs.
That was really crazy because that was my favorite band in high school, easily. So getting to meet them in person and open for them was amazing. We usually, sometimes when we're doing a support tour, we'll dip out during the headliner set to get a head start on the next drive, but we did not leave early one night on that entire tour.
Oh man, that's epic stuff. What a great story, man. So yeah, I want to get to the additions of Lindsey and Mike in a second, but let me just real quick touch on Thomas. John, of course, Thomas. Unfortunately, you guys heard one of the founding members. He succumbed to cancer in 2016. So just very vaguely, without going into crazy detail, John, how do you remember Thomas 4 years after his passing?
Well, I mean, in a lot of ways, I really looked up to Thomas, He had a super strong personality. He was super brave. He wasn't scared of anything. He was super creative and always pushing everybody to just, do their absolute best and put everything into it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he introduced me to maybe 2/3 of all my favorite bands now. He had a incredible taste in music. He used to work at a record store, and he was just like an encyclopedia. So, yeah, I mean, I asked myself what Thomas would do a lot.
That's great. Yeah, what a great guy. I'm sure he's looking over the band right now.
I know he is.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great, dude. So you guys took a few years break, but you guys came basically with 2 new additions, with Lindsey Mills on bass and Mike McCleary as well. Fellow members of Dreyfus, the same school that you mentioned a second ago. So I just wanna ask you guys what the story is there, because I mean, you guys all from the same school. What was the dynamic when you were in school, and did you guys hang out throughout all these years? How did it come about?
Well, I mean, we all knew each other in high school. It's not a particularly big school, and everyone kind of knows each other. Mikey has always been a legendary musician. He was in bands when he was 13 years old that were way better than the bands I was in at the time. And Lindsay was in a band with my little sister, actually, called
Really?
the Singing Magpies, believe it or not.
Ah,
So that's how I know Lindsay.
interesting.
Great.
Interesting. Is Mike there with you? Mike, I just want to ask him how
Yeah.
it was to.
Mikey,
Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? Hey,
Sorry, there's a train going by. It's really loud.
listen, that's Florida, random stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, just want to ask you how it was like to join these guys, right? Like you came in, you knew these people from school, and just how was it when you joined the band?
It was 5 years ago. I was well, TJ and I we played, like JP was saying, we had a band when we were 13, 14 years old together, and TJ and I remained friends throughout the years, and he actually messaged me and he was like, we were jamming at our warehouse, which we're actually literally sitting behind right now. It was about 5 years ago, and we were jamming, and he just says, "Oh," he's like, "I don't know why I didn't think of this." He's like, "Do you want to fill in on a couple shows? Tom is out sick," and I was like, "Yeah, of course, man. That'd be awesome." So that was in February of 2015, and you know, that turned into just like kind of filling in for Tom for a while to indefinitely playing with the band.
That's awesome.
So.
That's when's the first time, Mike, that you were on stage, temporarily or not, but that you were like, holy shit, like this is awesome. Like I'm with Surfer Blood, I'm playing 2,000 feet.
Yeah.
You know,
The first show was, it's funny, it was an inaugural football match for, what was the team? It was
the Orlando soccer team, and I forget their name. I'm embarrassed to admit.
yeah, we
not a real Floridian.
we played this, like, I guess it was like a pre-show party to the soccer match, like in the stadium kind of grounds.
cool. Yeah.
And that was the first show we did. I think it was either February or March of 2015. But I remember after the show, they gave us tickets and we went in and watched the game together, which is kind of fun. Cool.
I think the first tour Mikey did with us was South by Southwest,
Nice.
where we played 10 shows in a week, and in Austin when it's the craziest it is all year long. And
Yeah.
I remember I was teaching him songs in the back of the van. TJ was driving, and we had our guitars out in the back, and I was showing him the riffs for each song, and somehow we got through it. Went great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll never forget that. Teaching someone
That's
8 songs in the back of the van on the way to the show.
That was Mike's fraternity indoctrination. If you can make it through Austin, you can make it.
Exactly. It's like touring with a medicine ball going to South by Southwest.
That's great, guys. That's great. No, that's awesome, John. I want to ask you about the new stuff, but like one more question about the new band. I've had a couple of members of Vampire Weekend recently, and the reason why I bring it up is because you guys remind me of them in the sense that you guys are actually sounding, in my opinion, I just listened to your whole stuff for 2 days. You're sounding like better than ever now. And I feel like, and they too, Ezra Koenig added a couple, they added like more instrumentalists, more stuff, just like you did. So you guys sound awesome. You guys are sounding awesome, and I give credits to Mike and Lindsay for that, for sure.
Well, thank you. Yeah, couldn't do it without everyone.
And to you, John, because you had the vision. It takes to break it down to like change it up a little bit.
Well, thank you. I do what I can. I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. But anyway, let's talk about the new stuff, guys. Let's talk about fantastic album, guys. Congratulations. I mean, from the first track from Desert Island to the final chords of Rose Bowl. Oh man, that's really enjoyable stuff, man. Let's talk about a couple songs. John, let me ask you about. Let's start with Parkland, Into the Silence, which is the you guys have talked about already, but obviously everyone knows what happened in Parkland in the school. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that song?
Right.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that song?
Well, I mean, I was sort of. Yes. Yeah. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I kind of had that idea for the song, like the really punky intro part with the floor tom. I'd had that idea for a while, but was having a lot of trouble writing lyrics for it. And in I'd say like February 2018, I moved back to Florida after living in California for a few years, and it was kind of a culture shock in a way. Things are definitely way different here than they are on the West Coast. And I was kind of down the dumps. I'd just been through like a bad breakup and stuff, and was trying to find a reason to be, happy to be home. And that thing happened, which was a tragedy.
Yeah.
You know, I watched it on TV, and it was just heartbreaking that, you know, this was happening again, you know, so close to the place where we all grew up. But what was inspiring for me is just watching all the kids who, you know, could have just been victims for the rest of their lives sort of rise up and make their voices heard and do a really good job of, like,
Yeah.
you know, not taking any bullshit, I guess. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse.
Of course you're allowed to curse. Hell yeah. We do that all the time. Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know. You know, it's just those kids are like so much more mature and so much more resilient than I was when I was 17 years old. And
Right.
it made me super proud to be from Florida, which is exactly, you know, exactly what I needed, I guess. So I don't know, you know, it's a touchy subject, and
Yeah.
but
It's a great
it
song.
just comes from a place of pure admiration. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes across. And In My Mind, let me ask Mike about In My Mind. It's a great song. Okay. If he's there, no? Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey.
I want to ask you about In My Mind, because you rock it, Mike. You just shred that song. It's really great. It has a lot of Pet Sounds, Beach Boys kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, totally. So can you tell me a little bit about In My Mind, Mike?
Yeah, we're sitting out back of the studio where we recorded Carefree Theater, which is kind of bittersweet. I don't know if you can see it, but this corner little bay here, we're actually moving. We're in the process of moving this week to a new studio. But we were here when we recorded the whole record. And I remember when JP, we were doing that song. I remember the little guitar lick, and we kind of had the variation. And I remember like not being kind of happy with it. And I was like, I want to do it. And like, it was late night. We like came back here one late night, and JP's like, no, it's good. And like, just give me like one more take at it. And I did the first take or whatever of the like kind of lead line. He was like, oh, that's it. We're going to leave it. And we kind of I think I added a couple little harmonies in there that weren't initially in the demo of the song, which we kind of were just, you know, our whole concept was like, let's just, you know, add as much stuff as we want, and then we can just kind of pull away and take stuff out. But we ended up adding some stuff that sounded really cool that we ended up using that really kind of gave the song a little extra, you know, little bits to it, you know.
It came out great. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that one. It's kind of like that song, it gives you like it's that classic waltz, like I'm at the like high school dance kind of song. It's like a slow, kind of classical, like just kind of classic, timeless tune to me, I feel.
I agree. It's phenomenal. So guys, I want to let you guys go because you guys are out there in the elements in Florida. But let me ask you about the plans for next year, or I mean, obviously touring is kind of paused this year, but what's going on with you guys? What do you guys think is going to happen next year? When will we see you on the road?
Well, you know, the record was originally supposed to come out May 1st, and that was supposed to be the first day of our big tour, but obviously, you know, circumstances changed pretty quickly earlier this year. So we're rescheduling all the dates. Right now, we're slated to go out January 2021.
Nice.
I'm hoping and praying that will be possible.
Yeah.
But that's the plan for right now. And we're just going to hope for the best.
Well, listen, guys, I want to thank you for your time. Your new album, Carefree Theater, is awesome. September 25th, guys, go get it. Pre-add it on your Apple Music, Spotify, or whatever. And on Record Store Day, the 10-year anniversary deluxe double LP version of Astro Coast, that's going to be a collectibles item. So everyone, line up now and get that puppy, because that's awesome.
Yeah, limited edition, right?
Fantastic, man. But listen, thank you guys for your time. Best of luck with the move, man, and we cannot wait to see you guys keep rocking the stage, dude.
Well, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you, Mike.
Yeah.